So I'm not exactly on my porch. I'm in my guest room, standing in front of a couple of pieces of art that I put side by side at my last house. And then they sat a while in a closet here before I decided I still love them together. And the thing about these two pieces is that they're not high art at all. They're low level, sort of mass produced, easily economically available art. The more shimmery looking one, the one with the two small boats without the sails, is a mass produced piece from Hobby Lobby that I can't even explain why I loved it, except I am fascinated with boats in the harbor. I love just boats sitting because to me they look like they're waiting for a journey. And there's that great quote that says a ship in a harbor is safe, but that's not what a ship is made for. I love that quote. And so every time I see a picture of a boat waiting to have an occupant and to set sail, or at least in this case, move out from the shore, that moves me and it calls out to me and it reminds me that something is waiting, that there's still an adventure no matter how hard things are currently. The picture on the other side is actually a paint by number thing that someone else did, which made me love it even more. I don't have patience for tedium. I got it at a thrift shop, at a charity shop, like a Goodwill, and the colors are so intriguing to me. And there's something peaceful about that, even though, like, again, that is not high quality art. And it just reminds me of the fact that high quality art moves me. I mean, the Met, MoMA, all those places absolutely move me. But the mass produced low quality art can move you too. There's no explaining taste, there's no explaining what touches the heart. And what I love about God is that He's actually not a snob. He's elite, but He's not a snob. He is the highest level of inspiration. He's the highest level of moving our hearts and knowing how to move our hearts with whatever we need to see beyond this realm, to see something transcendent, to see some art of the heart, if you will. He's so good at that, but He can use anything. And so while those of us who love art and who attempt art, I attempt literary art, we want to do the highest standards and we want to really be the best and put excellence into it. But let us never forget that it's the honest expression of the heart in the viewer or the reader or the participant that is the point. And, every time I look at these two next to each other, I love that they're next to each other because one's kind of from the 50s, if you will, and one is from the 2000s. And it reminds me again of Matthew 13:52, that the kingdom of heaven is like a householder who brings forth out of his treasures things both old and new. Beauty is one of those timeless things. Beauty transcends time and space. That's why the arts are enduring. Beauty is transcendent. I believe beauty is a hallmark of heaven. The beauty of holiness is not just the beauty of good behavior. It's a beauty that's intoxicating, and we were made to take in that beauty. So it doesn't matter if it's highbrow art or lowbrow art. There are things I can find in both, but what matters is the heart that's moved by them. And so these two pictures on my wall keep me thinking of the boats to be inhabited and the voyages to be made. And even now, there are boats to be inhabited and voyages to be made. There are dreams to be dreamed. There are missions to be accomplished. There are launches waiting for us to leave the shore. And I tried to do a big upgrade when I moved into this house, because a year and a half ago, we had this new house and I had so much art, and I was trying to do this massive upgrade and not really hang things on the wall just because I had them. I was trying to really think through and go to another level and another season. And so that's why these two remained in the closet, because they're, again, they're just things I picked up along the way that I felt an affinity for. But lo and behold, you can't upgrade inspiration sometimes. To be inspired is a very precious commodity. And here they are. And I'm happy they're here. I'm happy they're back on the wall. I'm happy they're sitting in my guest room reminding me of voyages. And some of the things that God's done in your life, if you're like me, I'm always looking for a higher mountain to climb, a bigger, a bigger breath to be taken, a bigger inspiration, a bigger launch. But you can't improve on what's the best when it was God. And so sometimes you just need to do a Selah and look at what's in your closet, your spiritual closet, so to speak, of which this art closet that I had was a metaphor. And you need to realize some of that needs to be hung back on your wall. You need to realize that your life is decorated with the presence of God showing up. And anytime you've breathed into inspiration for the sake of the kingdom of God, you need to treasure that, and you need to display it, and you need to think about it. And that will help you. That's, I believe, what it means when it says David encouraged himself in the Lord. You remember those things, and you honor them, and you value them, and they form your reticular activating system filters into finding evidence that there's still hope and how much we need that hope right now. Last thing I'll say about these boats waiting on the shore. I have an amazing photograph. It's so old, I don't even know where it was back in the days of negatives. And it's a tiny boat on the shore of the island of Mull. Just like these, just waiting for an inhabitant to jump in them and go fish. My goodness, I don't fish. I wouldn't know the first thing, but I love the idea of launching out. And it reminds me of a not as well-known Dave Matthews song that just talks about a ship in a bottle set sail, a ship in a bottle won't sail. And I just want to declare, sometimes we feel like a ship in a bottle trying to sail. And that is a real feeling, that's a real pain, that's a real yearning. It's so frustrating when you can't break the glass barriers. You can see the ocean, but you can't get to it. But I want to declare to you that in the kingdom of God, you're not a ship in a bottle that won't sail. You're not a ship in a bottle trying to set sail. You're a ship made for the ocean that can do it. You can take the waves, you can take the winds, you can take what's being dealt out, and God has a way for you to sail. So take this time as a resting time, but know that your masts are going to be raised, and you are not going to spend your life a ship in a bottle set that won't sail, or a ship in a bottle trying to sail. You're going to be a ship in a bottle set sail.